The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys! This is Cowboys Storyline with Nick Eatman.
Good morning. Welcome to Cowboys Storyline. It is Tuesday, January the 2nd. Happy New Year, everyone. Let's start off 2025 the right way. We got a couple more shows, and then that's it for the weekly shows of Cowboys Storyline, or the daily shows. Actually, we will turn to weekly starting next week, right off the bat. So we'll have kind of a weird schedule right off. At first, we'll have a couple of shows in the first couple of weeks, but after that, it's going to be every Wednesday, I believe, at 9:30. We'll get to go a full hour, maybe a little bit more than that as we rolled into the break. So I was hoping for two shows like we did last year. It looks like it's just only going to be one, but we'll try to go a little longer than normal so get as many calls as we can. 888-855-2297 is the number to call. Let's talk about Cowboys and Commanders. We'll see who the starting quarterback is going to be. They haven't announced that yet, even though it does feel like it's going to be Trey Lance. Will Greer might even get some snaps as well. Mike McCarthy said 3 quarterbacks, including Cooper Rush, will all get some work. He's not saying who, but it does seem like signs are pointing towards Trey Lance getting that start and playing that last game of the season against Washington. All right, Pro Bowl was announced this morning. 5 players for the Cowboys make it. I was a little surprised by that. I thought it wouldn't be that many, but all 5 seemed to be very deserving. Of course, Brandon Aubrey and Kevontae Turpin. Those were the 2 for sure that I thought would make it. And then Micah Parsons, CeeDee Lamb. Wasn't sure how that was going to work because they, obviously missed some time. And then Tyler Smith. Once you get in as a guard and you're in, it's going to be tough to knock him off. So that's a good thing for him. I looked this up. I thought this was impressive. Tyler Smith is one of 2 or 3 guards now in the NFL history to make the Pro Bowl twice before he turns 24. So young player, made the Pro Bowl twice already. Might make it for a long time. That's pretty awesome. All right, let's start us off here on the phone line. Carolina, he's in Riverside, California right now. Carolina, what's up?
What's going on, Nick? Happy New Year, man.
Happy New Year to you. All right, let me have it.
Oh, man, I listened to you. I did. Last, what you told me? Well, maybe you shouldn't go out to the bar where they're going to be talking junk. Maybe stay home and watch the game. So I stayed home, man, and watched the game, and it was heartening, man. It hurt my heart. I know I didn't think it was going to be that bad.
Yeah.
But you already answered one of my questions. I was going to say, with the performance that, Cooper Rush had, do you think they'd be playing Trey Lance? So, okay, we got that out of the way.
I think they will play him. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, so my question to you, right, do you think that the Commanders are going to let us beat them again? In your wholehearted opinion.
Well, I think they're gonna. I mean, they're playing for the playoffs. Anybody that's sort of banged up is probably going to not play if they can. I think it's one of those things where you want to keep the momentum going for them. I mean, but also play smart. And Dan Quinn will probably figure out the best way to do that. You have 7 inactive, so it's not like you can sit everybody. This is not a preseason game where you can have you have 90 players and all that. I mean, they're gonna have to play some guys, and they're gonna try to win. They can get the 6th seed, which at this point I don't even know if that's better or worse. Depends on who they play. Do they want to play Philly? They may play Philly again. They may play. I would say you wouldn't want the 6th seed because there's 3 teams that are pretty good, and then after that, there's a nice drop I think there's a decent drop to the next level of the Bucks and Rams. So if you can get a 6 seed, that's a much different game than playing the 2 seed, which will probably be Philly or it could be, I guess, Minnesota, Detroit. I'm not sure how that works.
Well, all I know is, Nick, I don't want to lose.
No.
But my confidence is like,
well, yeah.
Like, do you think that the air has been knocked completely out of us after that Philly game? Like, do you think they're gonna get up,
nope,
put their boots on, and go to battle?
I don't think
to actually win this game.
Yeah, I do. I mean, I do. I don't think that that's gonna change that much. I really don't. And not to pump sunshine into this thing, but it didn't feel like a 41-7 game, and it was. It was, because that's how those games go after 4 quarters, and you keep turning the ball over and all that. I don't think that I don't think it like that game is going to deflate them to the point. They're going to go out, they're going to play hard again, they're going to try to finish it off. And no, I don't think. I think they'll try to sweep Washington and get to 8-9. That's what I believe is going to happen. Now, will they? I don't know if they will. But all right, thanks for the call, Carolina. I was disappointed I didn't get my honk, but that's all right. Let's go to Ronnie in New Jersey.
Nick, good morning and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, too. How are you doing?
Pretty good, thanks. Nick, I was just wondering I know we have a few players and coaches, but out of everybody that's basically going to be a free agent right after this game, the one guy, aside from Jordan Lewis as a player, that I would love for them to bring back, because Jordan Lewis has that part that this team needs. Like, if we had 22 Jordan Lewis, this team would be full of dogs. The way the guy plays, he's amazing. I love Jordan Lewis. Will McClay.
Yeah.
What do you foresee for Will McClay? Because right now it's starting to seem like there's more steam picking up this season with Will McClay. I'm hearing about, I live here in Jersey. They're between the Jets, and I hear the Jets are really going for him. Can we lose Will McClay this year?
Yes. You could. I mean, if you're asking if it's possible, yes, it's possible. I'm not saying he will. Last I heard that, and this wasn't even, I don't know if this is even something that has been, like, it's not reported or anything, but I do think that they are working on something for him to return. But he's going to probably listen to other offers if there are some. And, again, with Will, it's different this year because he said it all along. He's made it very clear. His son is graduating, and he made a commitment to his son to be here in the Dallas area. And after he graduates, we'll see. His contract is up. So, but I think the Cowboys certainly want to keep him. What I don't know with Will is how important it is to actually be the GM at another place. Wants to start something different. I don't know. There's probably some other dominoes that need to fall there as well. So it's that. But could he leave? Yeah, he could. He could always leave. But yeah, it's designed for him to leave this year if that's what he wants to do.
So my other question is, if he was to leave, who do we have to take over that space? He's a very important part of the Cowboys. He's the guy. I know Jerry Jones. I love Jerry Jones, but I know he likes to be the guy who points out, he picked this player, he picked that player. When it works out, I know he makes it as a joke. But at the same time, do we have somebody in waiting? Like, if Will McClay was to leave, who are we counting on? Like, what? Please don't say Stephen Jones. I'm sorry.
Well, that wouldn't be his role. That wouldn't be his role. Stephen's going to keep the same role. I can't give you a name. I can't tell you this is what it would be. I'm sure you have to have a plan in place. They might have a couple of people here that they have already targeted to be those guys, but you got to be careful with that, because if Will ever left, he could take them. He can take some. He's going to take some people with him. That's just natural. The ones that he wants to take. So, hey, let's see if the Cowboys, there's no salary cap there. Make it happen. Get it done. Make it happen and bring him back. I mean, that's what I would do. You got to have him. You got to have him because the way that they have things structured, your draft. I mean, the philosophy has not been to go get free agents. Okay, we know this. So if that's the case, then it's even more onus to go up there and you have to nail the draft. And if you were to start, with the salary cap the way it is, I mean, they have to hit home runs there. And I think it's vital to bring him back next year and for years to come. So hopefully that happens. But I can't tell you names or two of, this would be the replacement. I'm not sure. And I'm not sure that it should be inside. I think at that point, you may have to go from an outside approach. All right, let's go to Davion in Illinois. Davion, what's up?
Nick the Quick, my guy.
How you
What's going
doing?
on?
How are you?
Shout out to Anthony.
Yeah, I was like, hold up now. Yeah. But, yeah, sounds good. I'll take it. How are you?
Going on? Happy New Year.
You too. What's going on, man? What's on your mind?
Oh, man, we had a good call last night. Of course, the topic of discussion was our coaching situation. But, yeah, good call. And I guess my question for you would be, okay, game plan for this week. Who we trying to see? Who you want to see for evaluation purposes? Who you think can gain the most?
Yeah.
For playing this week that really can take it into the offseason and really get going?
Yeah, that's an interesting question because there's got two different questions there. Now, I'll flip it back to you before you get off the air. Do you have some guys in mind? You have 2 or 3, 4 guys that you're like, I'd like to see this guy, whether it be a free agent, whether it be a guy that will be back?
Yeah, I got Deuce Vaughn. I think Deuce Vaughn, this will be a good going game for Deuce, especially since you got Zeke out the way. We can play Deuce, pretty much have the whole game pretty much. I mean, Dowdle, pretty much we already know he already got 1,000 yards and broke a record. Mm-hmm. So I think we should at least see Deuce with the starters. It would be nice to see him with the starters and actually give a chance to kind of see something. Because my greatest thing with him is he was a good story, feel-good story. But I don't think he never really got a shot at really just significant to see what he actually can do. Because, like I said, we just got to the Turpin stuff this the last couple of games. So I'm like, he could be doing that the whole year with Deuce. But that's either here or there. But I think Deuce it'd be good to see Deuce out there this week.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm with you. And, in the Turpin situation, the way he's run the ball and runs it right between the tackles, it makes me think, all right, well, Deuce is big enough to do that. If Turpin can do it and live, for another day, then Deuce certainly can as well. I think he's had some opportunities to shine. Not as consistent, not consistent moments, but you'd like for him to make a play or two here and there, and it just hasn't happened. This is probably his best shot, and maybe one of his last shots to really go out there and say, all right, I can be an NFL player and contributor.
True.
Right.
And I think him, of course, Mingo. If Mingo get to play in Flournoy, Roflo.
Yeah,
I think that'd be some good guys to put out there and see what they got.
I agree. I think both those are good. Awesome Richards might get some opportunities to do some things as well, just to kind of get a chance to go out there and see what he can do. So, you want to win the game. I guess, again, I don't have the numbers in front of me about what, where they can go and draft-wise, win this game, lose this game. I know there's a range of like 11 to 17 or so of where they could pick. So, but you also want Washington to play – enough guys where you can get a good evaluation. You know what I'm saying? If Austin Richards is going to play, I'd like him to block, a defensive end that's actually a good player. But we'll see.
I think Washington's going to play because I think they're going for a better seed.
I would.
I think we're going to see them.
Yeah, I do too. And I don't think Dan Quinn wants to get swept by the Cowboys. I know that. So, all right, David.
They're going to go for it.
I appreciate it, man. Thanks. I love the fact you've been getting in on these calls here lately. Davion from Illinois. Let's go to Albert. He's in Tucson, Arizona. Albert.
Good morning, Nick. How are you, my friend?
Good. How are you doing?
Happy New Year.
You too. What's going on?
Just looking at 2025 from a whole and trying to be as optimistic as I can.
Okay.
I had when I saw that post on Instagram saying thank you to Zeke. I felt good because in a sense I was like, man, okay. I was like, he's probably wanting to go to a playoff team, and they released him.
Yeah.
And it didn't say, that post didn't say that, but then I went into the comments, and all I heard was Jerry. All you saw was Jerry this, Jerry that, Jerry this.
Well, I mean, I think you could have a post that said, the Cowboys, gave this much money towards this cause, and and pumped $2 million back into the community, and you would have those same comments.
Exactly.
Comments, you can't worry about that.
1,000%, I agree. And sadly, like I know I said it before, and you just like us diehard fans and us loyal fans that are like through and through are tired of those fans. Man, it's sad. And you're right, they do have a right. If they're a fan, they have a right to be mad and all that stuff. But what happened is through and through, and Cowboys, the Cowboys fight song. Whether we lost, it's crazy. And you look, it's 2025. I can remember when you first started, and this who knew how far we were going to come, even though we haven't won a Super Bowl that long. Anyway, I don't want to rant and rave.
It's okay.
I just want to say it was a good year. Thank you for everything you did and what you're going to continue to do. And go Cowboys.
All right. Well, thanks, Albert. I appreciate that. Appreciate the kind words and trying to be optimistic as you can, and understanding that, there's some fans that are very frustrated and they see it differently. And, I think, you have, a different perspective, which is great. I don't, like we say it all the time, I don't fault people for being very frustrated for how things are. I don't fault people for saying, hey, let's look on the bright side and this and that. I mean, it's that cycle that just keeps turning all the time. You can be upset and frustrated with how things are. And, before you know it, you'll get ready for the next season, and you'll find that way to kind of get a little bit of optimism, and some people a lot of optimism, and then let's go do it again. That's what's good about the NFL. In college, if you're not one of those top teams, and you're never going to be, then you kind of have a different thing to root for. But in the NFL, the way it's structured for you to be able to get better. With the draft, and then the way the schedule works out, and the amount of money, and everyone has these big contracts, and they win, and then all of a sudden they lose coaches, and they lose continuity, and they lose free agents, and then they got to replace it and start all over again, and that's kind of the way it works. So there's always a chance for teams to make that big leap. All right, let's go to Irene in Falls Church, Virginia. Irene.
Hey, Happy New Year to everybody.
How are you? You too. Doing all right.
Hopefully, everybody stayed safe and had fun. And obviously not everybody did, so prayers to New Orleans. But anyhow.
Of course.
So I am personally glad that this game is in Dallas, and I know you are too, because it might snow on Sunday, but whether or not it snows, it's going to be like 36 degrees high over here. So, that would have been brutal.
Yes.
Brutal way to end a tough season. So. Yeah. Anyway, I was wondering if you could kind of set the scene. I have one question, and then just set the scene on what is I know it's like Trash Bag Tuesday or Monday or whatever. How that last day goes especially for the players, but then also the coaches and you guys. Do you say bye to people, or does the off season start when the season's over, unless they're in the playoffs, or are players still allowed to come talk to coaches? I know there's a period where they can't, you can come in to train.
Yeah.
but you can't get, coached up or something.
Right. No,
so I just wondered how that goes.
Okay. All right. Well,
and I'll take that off there.
Okay. Thanks, Irene. I appreciate that. Interesting question. And and they're always adapting some of the rules there, but it is considered trash bag day for sure. Usually on that Monday. I mean, I don't even know if it's Tuesday. It'll be that Monday. And we say that because, a lot of people cleaning out their lockers and throwing stuff away and things like that. You always see the guys walking around with trash bags. They have exit interviews that they'll meet with the coach. This year is going to be even more different than others because 24, I think, guys now, 26 guys that are free agents. Zeke was one of them, but no longer here. But 26 free agents, so their future's up in the air, and then they're going to meet with coaches, and all of the coaches are up in the air as well. So I don't really know how that meeting goes. Be like, hey, here's my number. We'll see what happens. There's going to be a lot of that. We'll see what happens. As far as I don't think there's a rule that they have to be like out of the building by the next day afterwards. But there is a time where week or two or something like that. Now injuries change everything because if they have injuries to go, remember from a player standpoint, the contract doesn't expire till the end of the fiscal year, which is like mid-March. So this contract doesn't expire then. Coaches' contracts expire a lot sooner than that. All right, let's go to break here on Cowboys Storyline. We have a couple callers on the line, but we will get them right after the break.
Discover Aiden, the official luggage partner of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Known for top-tier engineering and craftsmanship, Aiden offers more than just bags. Originating from Australia and designed in New York, it merges fashion, design, and culture. Used by Dallas Cowboys players, staff, and the entire organization, Aiden provides style and functionality for all travelers. Visit AidenTheBrand.com and use code AidenXCowboys for 25% off your purchase. Travel like your favorite stars with Aiden.
How do you tell the world about all the great gifts in the Yeti store? Let her rip, Troy.
All right, folks, let's get started with the Yeti French Press. Enjoy coffee that stays hot for hours in a French press. 34 ounce for you, 6'4" for the cruise. The Yeti French Press. Hot mix waterproof bags. Bags waterproof. Submersible waterproof doubles. Waterproof bags. World's mostly water, so get a waterproof Yeti bag. Do I smell something cooking? Oh, new cast iron skillets made to be passed down like Mama's recipes. Take a steak, cornbread, cobbler's pot pie, and potatoes and next level with 3 sizes of Yeti cast iron skillets.
Gear, gifts, and product experts. Visit the Yeti store on McKinney Street and at South Lake Town Square today.
Altec Lansing has been perfecting sound since 1927, bringing you decades of audio excellence to elevate your Dallas Cowboys tailgate ritual. Equip your next pregame with the Sound Rover 180 with 6 hours of playtime, built-in microphone, multicolor light modes, and a rugged exterior that's built to last. Visit alteclansing.com/Cowboys15 for 15% off your Sound Rover 180. That's ALTECLANSING.com/Cowboys15 for 15% off. Altec Lansing, official audio partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Back to Cowboys Storyline.
All right, back here on Cowboys Storyline. We got a couple callers that have been waiting. Let's get right to it. Chris is in San Angelo, Texas.
Mr. Nick, Happy New Year to you, sir.
Happy New Year to you. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Thanks for asking. Oh, okay. I thought you were about to say something.
No, I'm good.
Okay, cool. Hey, I was wondering, first off, my pick for the game, I'll take I really hope to see Lance in there for a full game, see what he can do, and I'll get the Cowboys 24-17.
Okay.
The other thing I was going to ask you, kind of a situational thing. Let's say you were given in the draft, you had a chance to get the best player at a certain position.
Mm-hmm.
Which position would you choose for that?
With the first round pick, obviously.
With the first, yes, definitely. Yeah. It definitely have to be. But let's just say you're guaranteed to get the best player at any position. What position would you like for that to be?
I mean, that's a tough question because the draft is still the draft. So, I mean, like I've said, you could get a guard at 15, 14, 13, whatever they're going to pick. You can get a guard. You might get the best one. But would you rather get the third best pass rusher? or somebody that can help you at one of those elite positions. How about the second best corner, or do you want the first tight end? I mean, so I think you take. I mean, this is very cliche. I think you take the best player on your board that fills a need, and you have a lot of needs. So quarterback won't be the one probably there, but you take the best player available, and you name the other positions of what that is, and you can find a spot for him. Oh, he's a linebacker? Okay, he must be a difference maker for sure, so we can use him. Corner? Yeah. Other than safety and wide and a quarterback. Anyone else, I would be fine with that. So I don't know if you're going to get the best player at that position, but you know what I mean? I'd be fine if you got the second best corner, second best defensive ends, guard, whatever,
Well, it was kind of a fantasy type question.
Yeah.
Like you're guaranteed to get the best one. My thinking was I would love to have a defensive lineman.
Yeah. Big
Who
tackle.
was going to be
Yeah.
knew was going to be a disruptor.
Yep.
And then imagine having him in there and what he would do with for Micah in the defense.
Yeah, and the same with the pass rusher on the other side. The same with linebackers. I mean, I just think you have so many needs that you're going to have the opportunity to get a player right then there that comes right in and ready to play, and that would be one of the tiebreakers for me. If I was in the war room and was like, all right, well, how about this guy here, this guy here? I mean, who is ready to play? Because Mozzie wasn't, obviously. Tyler Guyton certainly wasn't, and they knew that going in. This year, whatever that pick, and if it's a corner versus the guard or a wide receiver versus a defensive end, who do they think has played enough football in a big-time level that can come right in and is ready to play right now? Because that is paramount. They have to have that happen.
Yes, sir. Thanks for taking my call, Nick.
Yeah, for sure, Chris. Appreciate that always. Thank you, and let's keep it going now. We got to move up north a little bit to Oklahoma City. Gavin, what's up, man?
What's up? It's been a minute.
Yeah.
How's it going? How's the holidays go for you?
It's going well for sure. So
same here. First, I wanted to say if I'm not sure how much this has been talked about. I haven't got to listen to all the shows because I've had to lock into some real life stuff. But anyways, I'm proud of the way the team has fought and battled, and I'm very proud of CeeDee Lamb. I thought the Tampa game was the funnest game for me to watch of the season. I had a lot of fun with it regardless of playoff implications or anything like that. So I'm very happy about that, and I have no questions about CeeDee Lamb. I think that kind of permeates to the rest of the locker room, even for next year, whenever you have a player so toughness like that and aren't just showing up to get paid. That man really loves football.
Oh, yeah. There's no doubt about it. I think he impressed a lot of people, myself included. Not that I had doubts about him, but my level of just how much that I appreciated him as a player, that just increased even more. I mean, he really, really was outstanding this year.
I agree. And my last thing I want to mention is Mike McCarthy. I know we all talking about Mike, but I think when it comes to him, I really do want him back. I think he runs the team pretty well, but at the same time, I think we need a play caller for this team that can take us to the next level. I think his play calls are fairly basic concepts, and they just aren't executed necessarily well. So you could argue, why would you add greater concepts to the team? But I don't know. I see other coordinators throughout the league, and I just think the play calling just isn't on the level that you see. Like one of the callers said yesterday in Detroit and San Francisco, and that's the standard to get to the Super Bowl. Kansas City, or whatever team you see. I think Mike McCarthy has done some great things and was great for the development of Dak. But I don't think he's going to come back and be like, hey, let me give the play calling duties up. I think it's like, okay, if you want Mike McCarthy back, you get all of Mike McCarthy. And I just don't know if that's the right move for this team going forward, regardless of his resume. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I think you have a good point there, and I don't disagree. I there has to be a change here, and if you want to keep McCarthy here as the head coach for everything that he brings, I think there needs to be a caveat, and I mean, and that might be an awkward conversation, but I don't know how many options he has. So if it's like, hey, let's. You come back as the head coach. We'll sign this deal, but we are going to make some changes on offense. I'd like for you to do some different things here. Maybe get some different personnel. And if he says no, it's my way or the highway, then I wonder how.
Yeah. I think
up.
It would be kind of tragic to lose Zimmer in that process. But I think if you lose the head coach, kind of get a clean slate there, more than likely.
Right.
So that's another thing you have to factor in, because I think the players want Zimmer back, and I think Zimmer has a great system, and maybe you could give Mike McCarthy the benefit of the doubt of the players saying they aren't necessarily ready early in the season, because I got to thinking about it, and maybe it was because of Zimmer's scheme that they weren't ready, and maybe that's why they were saying that, like, oh, I'm not prepared because I don't understand the scheme, and maybe we as fans just don't understand exactly what they're talking about. But that's all I got. I'll get off of here. But I wanted to say before I get off, for my home state of Louisiana, if y'all have any friends and family that live in New Orleans or anything like that, my prayers are with you, and we all in this together.
All right.
So,
Gavin,
that's all I have to say.
Thank you. Well said. Obviously, a scary situation there. Just been senseless. Hate that for the city of New Orleans, and it's going to be an interesting next couple of weeks and months. As they go through that. I know they have a huge game today in the playoffs, a football game down there, but Super Bowl as well. So security is going to be tighter than ever, but still just an unreal situation that happened there, and like you said, much bigger than football. All right, let's keep it going here. We've got Rob in Vegas on the line. Rob is next.
Hey, Nick.
How are you doing?
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. How are things there
I definitely want to
Vegas?
send. Vegas is good. New Year's is pretty wild out here.
Sure.
But it was quiet. The days of going to the Strip are over. You stay home.
Yeah.
For prayers go out definitely to the people to New Orleans.
Yeah.
Me personally, I can't wait for this season to end.
Yeah.
To me, I think it's the worst season I've ever watched. I'm 57, so I've been a fan probably since I'm 6 or 7 years old. When the Cowboys when you knew they were going to be bad or they were rebuilding, you could kind of pick out what you want to see. Oh, I want to see this guy, and I want to see it. But this season wasn't like that. We didn't think they were going to be this bad, and if Cowboys fans are honest, they were bad all year.
Yeah.
They were bad from day one. They beat the worst of the worst, and they got crushed by the best teams. There was really no highlights to this season, and I just hope, the Joneses realize, look in the mirror, look at each other, say, we got to blow it up, and they do. They clean house. That's what needs to be done.
But if it doesn't happen, if they don't blow it up, because I don't think that's what they're going to do.
Then we're going to be worse next year.
Possibly. I mean, that's very
because
possible.
You can't, like all these fans are calling in, like the last caller. He says, I like Mike McCarthy. He runs a good team. I don't see that. But I think we have to take away his play calling. I hope, if that ever comes up, I hope Mike McCarthy grows a pair and says no and leaves. Because what do I need Mike McCarthy for?
Well, you want him to do that so he'll be out the door? Is that what you're saying? You want him to say, hey.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, all right.
But because if you stay, you're showing the fans you're just a puppet. Grow, you know what I mean? the only reason you're here was to improve Dak and be a play caller. If you're not that, I don't need you. And the only reason why you would stay is for the money. And you're basically, Jerry's just saying, I'm comfortable with this guy. No, blow the whole thing up. Talking about Micah, I love Micah, but he's starting to get like Jerry. He does this podcast, and I don't care that he does a podcast. I mean, my kids are that age, maybe a little older. That's what they're into. But he just talks about, like, he said, yeah, come to the Cowboys, you could get the best endorsements. That's like, dude,
yeah. What
are you talking about? Don't say it, think it. You know what I mean? I don't know. The world of the Dallas Cowboys is just off. It's just off. As fans, we really don't know what is going on. We look at, all the money that they paid to certain players, and we're like, okay, so those guys are locked up. Let's go. Let's build. Let's do this. Right. And it's like, I don't know. And it's just, you guys talking about having only one show. That's a shame because this is the best time of the year to have a show like this. This is when it's exciting, especially for this team because, you could have a new owner. I mean, new coach, new players. You'd have to have a 3-hour show now.
I can't agree enough, and I wish others shared the same thought process. I wish we could do it more, but then again, we have a lot of shows here, and then by doing that puts a lot of pressure on Chris in the back and other people as well. But I do understand that this show gives the fans a voice and more than any other show does, and I wish we could do it more. So, but that's kind of that's what we have. That's what we have right now.
Chris said all he needs is 2 weeks off, and he's ready to rock and roll.
Oh, Chris is ready to rock. It's not about Chris. Anyways, but all right, Rob, let's keep it rolling. Thanks for the call. Be safe there. Obviously, New Orleans is where everyone is thinking about with the tragic situation that happened there. Vegas, there was some stuff happening there too outside of the hotel. So not a great start to the New Year's in some of the biggest cities there. Let's go to one more break here on Cowboys Storyline. I'll be right back after this.
Cowboys fans, when it comes to navigating the ever-changing world of tax, your business needs a partner it can trust to tackle even your biggest tax challenges. Ryan is the largest firm in the world dedicated exclusively to business taxes. Our team of tax professionals has local expertise in all areas of tax and can help you uncover savings opportunities you didn't know you had. Learn more about how Ryan can improve your overall corporate tax performance by visiting Ryan.com. Ryan, the official tax partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
There is no I in Dallas. There is no I in Hart either. No I in Blue Star or in Lone Star for that matter. And there's no I in how about them Cowboys? Smirnoff knows there's no I in football. Football is a we thing, an experience that is best enjoyed together. With good drinks and good folks, home or away, we rally together. We cry together. And we always rally cry together because there's definitely no I in Cowboys fans. Smirnoff, we do game days. Please drink responsibly.
To Cowboys Storyline.
All right, back here on Cowboys Storyline. Got about 10 more minutes to go before we wrap this up. It's Thursday, I wrote Tuesday down. This whole week feels weird. It is Thursday, January the 2nd, first show of 2025. Hope you made some good resolutions and see if maybe the Cowboys have made some as well. They're going to make some changes this year. Lord, let's hope so. As far as some changes, some positive changes, get this thing turned around. This was not a good season. We know that, and they fell short of the mark as a team. As I wrote this morning, they individually 5 Pro Bowlers. That's good for them. I mean, those guys were deserving for sure. I'm glad that they put Aubrey in. His missed field goals didn't haunt him too bad. I mean, I think everyone realizes he's kicking it from, New Mexico, and some of these kicks that he's missed. So Turpin as well. Those two guys set, a lot of records here this year, and Micah and CD, both just phenomenal players. They got in Tyler Smith as well, another phenomenal player, and he may be a mainstay there for a long time there on the Pro Bowl list. We saw it with Zach Martin, and you know what? It could be a changing of the guard, if you will. I'll be here all week. All right, let's go, Bob in Rio Grande Valley.
Morning, Nick.
How you doing, Bob?
Happy New Year to you, buddy.
You too.
But, this year hadn't started off on the best, considering all the things that happened in New Orleans yesterday and in Vegas. But somehow or another, we're going to fight through it. Our season was pretty much like that. It hasn't been the best season that we've had. But we had those 12-win seasons, three of them, and didn't get over the hump, didn't get really fast go hardly, but nevertheless, we were there. As far as the coming season is concerned, it's a sad day to say goodbye to Zeke. I'm one of the guys that I don't forget what he did when he first came out of college for us. How he and Dak just turned an 8-8 mediocrity team into winners and gave us hope. And I wish him nothing but the best. As far as what's going on with the Cowboys, we're going through some changes. We need some changes. I'm for one, am not down on Mike McCarthy. I feel like that he is somewhat predictable in his play calling, and that's one criticism I have of him. As far as assembling a staff that gets his team ready to play, I think he's done a phenomenal job considering the injury situation that we've had this year. I'm hopeful that when the draft finally is settled and we know where we are, that we can get some quality players to come in here and help out. As far as Will McClay is concerned, I would hate to see the Cowboys losing. I think that would really be a real blow to us. I appreciate your show. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
I appreciate you. I appreciate your insight. Your show was probably the most informative of all the podcasts that are on in the day. You learn more about what's really going on with the Cowboys, and I appreciate your opinions. And I thank you for the entertainment that you brought to me and the insight.
Well, thank you.
And I wish you a happy New Year, and I thank you for taking my call.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Bob. And I say that about when you say that about feeling informed. I'll take some credit here because I'm here and I get to talk to a lot of people here in the halls and you pick up things like that and I've been around enough. I've seen stuff, so I'll take some of that, but also you learn a lot from you guys. You guys, I know I'm not the only podcast you're watching. You guys are the diehards. So you're looking at other blogs and other websites and other things. There's been times where people will come to the show and ask questions and that I haven't even heard of yet. And that doesn't happen a lot, but it's happened some. You guys are very informed, and so I think as a collection, it's been great. Thank you for saying that. Let me go off what you said about McCarthy, play calling and things like that. Bill Parcells didn't call the plays on offense or even defense. You're the head coach of the team. You get a new play caller in here, a younger guy, different voice, maybe sees it a little differently. Got his way of doing things, but if you want to run the ball on 3rd and 3, then hey, we're running the ball here. I remember Parcells saying that about Sean Payton. Do you jump in? Well, yeah. If I say, hey, let's get Barber here. Let's run Julius. On the outside. Okay, cool. I got about five plays we can run here in this formation, all that. I'm going to make the call. You can run the show without calling all the plays. And so it doesn't mean that you're just sitting there in a suite, watching the game. I mean, you can still have your hand in things. And they say walk around coach. I mean, when the game's on the line, you can figure it out. Say, hey, I want to run the ball. I got 4 plays here, or you got 4 plays. We're first and goal from the 8. We're up by 3. I want to be up by 10. You got 4 plays here. Figure it out. And we should run the football. You didn't call the plays, but you pretty much told them what we're doing and what we need to do. And I think that there's something to be said for that. Let's go to Lester in Minnesota. Lester, what's up?
Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning, Nick.
Good morning.
I think what I'm hearing from the callers, and I haven't heard the whole show, so some of them may have said it outright. But what part of the frustration is that we want, as Cowboy fans, we want to hear a plan, and we don't want to hear just cliches about, we're going all in, or we're doing this or that or whatever. We want to hear, okay, next year we're going to focus on the wide, this is an example. We want to focus on the wide receivers. We're going to get some wide receivers, and we're going to get this and that and whatever. And we want to hear some direction, not just cliches or little.
Well, hold on, Lester. They're going to give you the cliche. They're going to give it to us. I mean, their plan. They're not going to go into and say this is what we're going to do. I mean, like.
No. I understand that, but I think what the old timers are saying, the Cowboy fans for a long time, like myself, is that when the old regime was in, they would give a little hint about, okay, next year we're going to do the receivers. This is an example.
Yeah.
We're going to do the receivers. But I think that's part of the frustration, Nick. That's all I'm saying.
I get it.
That's what I'm hearing.
I get it. And I just don't know if I've ever remember a time where they come in and say, this is our plan, this is our direction. I mean, think about a couple of years ago, after the draft, and you look at the guys and you're like, all right, this guy, big, strong lineman, big, strong defensive tackle, big old linebacker. Oh, another big wide receiver. Oh, so is there a theme here? Yeah. And then after the draft, you're like, what? Looks like y'all went for a lot of size. It's like we did. We felt we needed to be bigger here. They say it afterwards, here's the theme, but I don't remember going into the draft them saying, we've got to be bigger, stronger, physical up front, and we're going to draft big players. I don't remember that. I just think you kind of see it afterwards. But I don't remember a lot of times where they just tell you the plan. They have a plan, but they're not going to throw it up to us. I mean, so I...
No, Nick, when I say the old regime, I'm talking about before Jerry. There were times where that regime would say certain little things that give the fans a hint of what was going to happen next year. Not the whole plan, but just a little hint.
Yeah.
That's what I think. That's why I said the old timers. I think that's part of their frustration.
Before the internet, before the blogs, before everyone Twitter and all that stuff. Yeah, you just throw it out there, and it was and by the time you got it in your Dallas Cowboys Weekly to go, it looked like we were going to get some wide receivers here. It looks like that's what Landry's saying.
Exactly.
By then it's mid-July and the draft has already happened, and you're like, we didn't even get those receivers. So little different time. I understand what you're saying though. You want to kind of know. You just don't want to hear, we'll see if we do it better next year. I mean, I get that. You want to know what it is, what's going to happen. How is this going to be different? And believe me, I'm there, okay? I understand that. I'm in the same situation as you guys, all right? My college team, same situation. Didn't know if the coach was going to come back. I'm a big Arkansas fan. They brought the coach back, and I'm like, what's different? What's going to be new? It's and you want that, and I totally understand what you're saying.
Oh yeah.
So.
Oh yeah. Well, all I got to say,
give it to me.
Until we get an offensive line. Good to very good, and defensive line at the same time.
Same time.
This is what we got, Cowboy fans.
All right.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. Thank you. Appreciate that. All right. Well, that's it. That's enough. We've got, 10 callers today. So it is time to wrap this thing up. I've had my partner in crime here with me for the show so he can say bye to everyone. What's up, Jacob? Get in there. All right. Real quick. Let's say Happy New Year to everyone. What's up?
Hi.
Let's say bye. And this is be your last show for this season as well. We'll see if we can get him on again. All right, guys, it's been great. We're gonna be back here tomorrow on Friday to talk about the Cowboys and Commanders. All right, for Chris Beam, he's got his kids in the back. Jacob, we'll say bye. See you, everyone.
Bye. Happy New Year.
All right.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!